A moment to give a shout out to his sponsors, Overland RNC, Golfy Concrete and Drain, TriStar Forming, and Fleet Contracting. They all put up some money to pay not just the top Ohsweken driver in the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals tonight, but they're going to pay the top 5. So the second highest Ohsweken driver is going to get $200, third highest 150, then 150. So a little extra cash in the Ohsweken drivers' pockets, courtesy of Chris Steele's sponsors, so we thank them for that.
Well, guys, back here in the pits, Kyle Drum's crew going to work on the left front. They've got the broken one off. They've got the new one bolted on. They're just putting on the last 2 bolts, and he'll be ready to come back out. Kyle Drum going to make it back out for the B main.
And we want to thank VictoryGames.com for bringing us tonight's live stream. And of course, Aero Express and Nitro 54 Variety. Aero Express run by Kurt Stiers. And without Kurt, we wouldn't be able to have these nationals each and every year. And of course, Dan Anacoke and Nitro 54 Variety keeping it all in U.S. funds and keeping this a huge marquee event, the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. So thanks to them. Just want to thank Lucas Oil Products, our Victory Lane sponsor. They do a lot here at the Speedway, along with Case IH, and we've got Pinty's Delicious Foods, Strickland's, Nathan Ackland Insurance, Burger Barn. So many great supporters here at the Speedway. Epic Racewear. The winner of the Nationals tonight gets a race suit as well. Not just our 4 champions at the end of the year, but the winner of this race as well. And there we go. Kyle Drum is back on track. His night is not over yet. So I counted him down and out a little bit too soon, but he's got a lot of work to do. 7 laps to charge to the front, but he still has a chance.
You know, pit crews, they want everything to go well, they want to win, but when they get to the chance to do something like that, change a tire when it really matters, that's what they're here for.
Exactly, and they have done the work, and now we'll see if it'll pay off. 7 laps left to go. Hutchinson right now ahead of Steele and Slider.
Kyle Drum picks off a couple there in turn number 2. He's got a long way to go, but there's still 6 laps left. We are just at the halfway point.
Yeah, Drum works by Summers and Glover at the back of the pack. At the front, Slider beginning to drop through the field as Chad Miller gets by, as does Cole McDonald.
Cole McDonald, that's impressive out there. Oh, he has to take evasive action from Slider through turn 4.
Slider's got the wing in the trunk, as they say. Got it slid all the way back on the 22 car. And look at Drum, who's made up a bunch of spots already. He is definitely not out of this. If he gets up into the top 4, he's probably going to transfer into the feature.
What a storyline that would be. It's Hutchinson right now your leader over Miller, who's gotten by Steele. Steele in 3rd, Slider 4th, but he's got company, and it's Kyle Drum marching to the front.
Kyle Drum trying to get to the inside of Slider in this yellow. Well, they were not going yellow. I can't believe he was able to drive through that. Cole McDonald with a nice save and a battle for the lead.
Chad Miller takes it over, but Hutchinson drives back to the inside. Almost contact there in corner 4, and now Chris Steele gets to the inside of Miller for 2nd.
All this kerfuffle has allowed Kyle Drum to reel in the top 3. Miller goes around in front of Drum. Drum skates by. He's in 3rd. Miller stays going. We're still green.
And now the yellow will come out because Miller cannot keep it going. Made a valiant effort there, but just could not keep the power under the 88C.
Well, I think he might have thought better of what he had done there. Do a 360 and realize, whoa, this, my chances just went up in smoke. I think he kept it running and then probably wisely rolled to a stop.
Guys, if you're not a Kyle Drum fan by nature normally, you are right now. What a drive. He's up to the 3rd spot. Just got by Chad Miller as he was spinning. We'll see the replay here in the tower, and Miller goes around, and oh, right there goes Kyle Drum by.
And that would have been a bad one.
Oh, it would have been bad in multiple ways, not just the impact, but to come back all the way back up into the 4th spot and then have that happen. It would have been bad emotionally as well as physically.
We're going green out of turn number 4. We're going to finish off this B main, the final B main for the 360 sprints, and then we got a crate sprint B main right afterwards.
Hutchinson, Steele, and Kyle Drum, the top 3. Sean Slider there, but Hud Horton will go by him.
Guys, somebody hit the cone down there. The officials are trying to figure out who it was. And so that may come into play. 3 wide for the lead on the last lap.
From third to the lead, Kyle Drum found a lane on the outside line. Can you believe it? He's to the top spot, leads into 3.
What a move. They were 3 wide off of turn number 4. Checkers in the air and a well-deserved win for Kyle Drum. Chris Steele comes home second. Hutchison third's got to be wondering what the heck just happened.
Well, if you like storylines, that was a great one. Went to the pit area to fix the left front.
Can we get a replay on that restart?
They are requesting a replay on the restart.
We are using all means necessary to find out who's been naughty. Okay, and I'm going to stand next to Mike Hemhoff. He is up here peeled. So we just need to look at that restart, Spencer, to see who clipped the cone.
Well, we got to be sure.
Spencer down in the dungeon. He runs the show.
Unbelievable job by Kyle Drum. Fixes the left front. His crew has to be elated in the pits. Restarts up in the top 3 and then drives around the outside in the lane that he chose to get by. There was barely enough room for his car to go through, and he got through there.
Maybe shoot Spencer a message and make sure he's able to get it, but I would think he could bring that up for us. Going back to that final restart. I'll announce the starting lineup of the Crate Sprints B main.
Gotta go scales, guys.
Starting on the bowl from Niagara Falls, the Pro Battery Shop's number 70 is Bailey Hurd. On the outside of row 1 from Brantford, the McDonald's number 9 is Paul Ballantyne. Number 12 starts in third. The Ohsweken Speedway sponsored machine from Waterford is Brad Herron. And starting fourth out of Carlisle, the load covering trailers Gales Auto Aftermarket number 18X is Davey Boughton. Starting fifth from Binbrook, the Mac Tools Brian Chaston Float Service Smoots Garage number 29 is Liam Martin. Starting sixth, the 4B out of Burlington, Jeremy Hughes. Starting seventh from Brampton, the Lifto number 70, Dave McKnight. And starting eighth out of St. Catharines, the Gilletta Flooring Services number 22, Junior Val Gilletta Jr. Starting ninth from Thamesford, Ontario, the Vipon Fire Protection Downer Car number 6 is Curtis Gartley. Starting 10th from Hagersville, the Gibbs Action Sports Dernan Motors number 43H is Dave Bailey. Starting 11th to the 24 from Windsor, the Jeff's Roofing Bateman Trucking Quality Automotive 24 is Jeff Newham, and the 26 rounding out the field from Salmon Arm, British Columbia is John Verney.
80 got it, back to 2. Well, if he don't come back, he's gone, and then
Down into 3 they go. How many transfer out of this one? 6 cars will make it to the feature event tonight. The top 6 right now, Jeremy Hughes has that position. Dave McKnight runs 7th in that black number 70.
Bailey Hurd, who's had some good runs lately, in that second spot, but now he loses it to Brad Herron. Paul Ballantyne continues to lead in the Woodstock Ford number 9.
Ballantyne, and that's not a line we've seen too many people run. He's not quite in the top groove, sort of running the middle groove down there in 1 and 2, the same in 3 and 4. And we got Jeff Newham around in turn 2. So Chris Steele was the driver who got into the cone. What is the outcome of that? Where will he wind up finishing?
he's still going to transfer.
So he's probably still safe. He finished second, correct?
Yeah, they docked him 2 spots for hitting the cone. So instead of second, he'll get 4th. And that should be good enough to still transfer.
That poor cone.
Greg, who was it that took the cone for a ride for like a whole heat race one night? You
Haver
remember that?
Daniels.
Yeah. The cone got jammed up in the Nerf bar on the side between, just pretty much right next to the driver's compartment.
And it went for the entire race for the ride. Havard.
I wonder if Howard's watching down in New Zealand.
That's a good question. Great guy. It was always great to have Havard Racing with us.
Green is out onto turn number 4, and Paul Valentine leads the way down the front stretch into turn 1. Remember, the top 6 get into the show. Right now it's Jeremy Hughes, but John Verney in that blue and black number 26 to the inside. John Verney staying down low. He's got Dave McKnight right behind him in that 70 machine. Paul Valentine continues to lead. Oh, Jeremy Hughes goes around. Dave McKnight clips him. Wow. Again, that could have been a bad one.
See the right rear rim bent on the 4B of Jeremy Hughes, the Oakwood Transport machine.
I was explaining to my son Connor earlier who Dave McKnight was, and I remember when he used to run the Mucci Transport number 98 super modified, beautiful race car. But I don't think I've ever seen someone crash as hard as Dave McKnight has in a super modified. I forget where it was that his top wing failed, and we have a look at this replay. Almost had a look at that replay. But the top wing failed on Dave McKnight's car, and I forget where it was, but man, he crashed hard. Some of the crashes he's climbed out of are amazing. As we look at the replay, and Dave McKnight took a hard lick, but that car's still running.
Yeah, Jeremy Hughes definitely took the worst of it. We see Clinton Jeffrey down there getting some photos for the live shot. Nice shoes, by the way, Clinton.
Yeah, guys, he's got a flat right rear and some other damage, but Jeremy Hughes still smiling here, gonna get back behind the wheel, but a flat right rear gonna take him out.
Some slick footwear there for Clinton Jeffrey. He's got the Case IH apparel on.
And Kyle sent me a note about Dave McKnight. He thought it was Oxford Plains, Maine. I'm sure it's not, because I was there in person, so it would either have had to have been Cayuga or Oswego or Lancaster.
Well, Greg, funny story there. You mentioned the Case IH apparel. Casey Smith from O'Neill's and Case IH. I was looking on Facebook, which I live on, and I saw a picture of these cool shoes with Case IH on them. I said, Casey, where do I get a pair of these in size 11? 23 hours later, they were on my desk here ready for last week. So I want to thank Casey. This shows you the amazing service we get from our sponsors at O'Neill's Farm and Garden and Case IH Equipment. Such a major supporter here. They give us all this gorgeous equipment to help make this track as beautiful as it is. Our guys definitely don't want for equipment. They've got everything they need. And if you've never been in one of these Case IH tractors, guys, it's nicer than a 747 cockpit. Leather seats, air conditioning, beautiful stereo, everything you could want. Check them out if you're a farmer or have any need for these tractors. The Case IH are the people you want to talk to, and call our friends at O'Neill's Farm and Garden.
And Clinton, I'm not always a name dropper, but to me this is pretty cool. C.D. Cavill just signed in to watch our stream. He's from the Capital District in New York, and man, could that guy wheel a dirt modified.
Absolutely.
Also, the reason I bring it up, he has recently got iRacing. I'm not going to say how old C.D. Cavill is, but he was my mom's favorite modified racer. So he's not a spring chicken, but he's big into iRacing, Clinton. And this off season, we are going to host some iRacing events and possibly an iRacing league. So keep tuned into the Ohsweken Speedway Facebook page. We want to get people involved in CD. Now I can call you out publicly because I've seen that CD does a lot of racing on iRacing. We expect you to show up for some of our events, CD. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to everybody for coming out this weekend. Beautiful weather for this race.
Well, the other thing we want to make clear, we are in touch with iRacing, working on getting the track scanned, but it'll take a little bit of time. Here we go. Back to it. Paul Valentine leads them off.
Valentine leads them, still running that higher line on the racetrack. Whoa, problems for Gillette as he gets squirrely in turn 2. Dave McKnight again up to that 7th position. That was significant contact he made with the Jeremy Hughes machine, but he is up to speed out there.
Paul Valentine out in front. That's a side-by-side fight with Bailey Hurd and Brad Heron for second. Brad on the bottom, Bailey Hurd on the outside line. Here they come off the line, and Hurd will grab the second spot.
Davey Boughton in a battle of his own with Liam Martin. They race for the 4th position down in 1 and 2. Liam Martin, who won a feature event this year. Car just looks to be a touch off for Liam here tonight.
Halfway home, 6 in, 6 laps left to go in this B main for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. Ballantyne leads over Hurd and Heron. Then it's Martin and Boughton, your top 5.
They've strung out just a little bit. 6th place with John Verney right now, but Jeff Newham is closing in that 24 machine. Newham's wound up on the short end of the stick a few times this season as John Verney gets sideways, but he might have failed to qualify more than anyone else in this division this year, Greg.
Yeah, had some issues, and you can tell by the mixed match of body panels on that car right now. Had a rough time, but has been solid at other times as well, so I'm sure he'll be back in full force next year. In 2019 here at the Big O, out in front, one of the most improved drivers this year, the 9 of Paul Ballantyne, and he is out in front of Bailey Hurd, who's got no swing problems on that 70.
Yeah, he's taken a big swing at this 9 machine. He was struggling hard early this season. They found something, got it up to speed. Paul Ballantyne looking to take home this B main feature event and qualify for tonight's feature.
Stand by and we will see the white flag coming out for Paul Ballantyne, but the yellow flag will come out for John Verney, who loops it around.
No.
1 or 2.
He was in a transfer spot, but was that one of those old school scorers? Please stand by. Who used to say that?
I have no clue.
Might have been Joe Murata.
That totally sounds like a Joe Murata thing. Roy Sova is here tonight. We should
That's right, Roy.
find him and ask him. But
Roy does make the trip up here to the Sprint Car Nationals, and I enjoy his posts on Facebook. I'm sure you see them as well, Tommy, but you never know what he's going to talk about. But
if you don't know who Roy Sova is, he's the long time announcer at Ohsweken Speedway. Has been there since the 60s and is still going strong. So we love it when he comes down here to Ohsweken, and he loves coming here and commenting and promoting our track for us on Facebook.
well, and that's what we've become, and I think I can speak for Clinton Jeffrey. I don't know what he's up to out there.
I'm trying to find out what that sign says the 50-50 people are holding up for the back.
$5,000 guaranteed in the 50-50.
All right.
But we've really tried to set Ohsweken Speedway up, and much to the hard work of Glenn Stiers and Clinton Jeffrey and the crew, as a destination, a place that people might plan a road trip to come even once a year.
Everybody on Facebook is saying Joe Murata for sure, so you were right on that one.
Well, I just want to take that to a step further. Our good friend Tony Spiteri from Pinty's, he told me, not only a destination, a physical destination, but a destination in your social circle, a destination in your mind. And that's so true. People thinking about it, talking about it. It's so cool to have the synergy we've got going right now. And I know I've used that big word a few times, but what else can you say? It's kind of like electric here today. And every week for that matter.
I agree with you, Clinton. We're about to go back to racing 2 laps to get it done.
Paul Ballantyne leads him down the front straightaway, and it's Brad Heron that checks out a line and looks to the inside of Bailey Hurd looking for the runner-up spot. He's got Liam Martin in tow, and Heron's going to give a charge for the lead.
Wow, what a battle amongst the top 4 as the white flag comes out. Paul Ballantyne out in front. And Gilletta, I think if he cranked that wing once more, to be on the car behind him.
Ballantyne and Heron go back and forth, coming to the checkered flag. It looks like Ballantyne's going to have the outside line to the win. Heron second, Hurd third. Then it's Liam Martin coming home in the 4th spot over Davey Boughton 5th. Jeff Newham 6th, 7th. Al Gilletta, Dave Bailey in the 8th spot, 9th. Dave McKnight and John Verney will complete the running order in the B main for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division.
And Crystal S., who is sitting in the pits watching some great racing, happy birthday to you. We appreciate you spending it here with us at the Big O Sprint Car Nationals weekend, and that is it. That is it for qualifying as far as who gets in and who does not get in. We still have the dash that's going to determine starting positions 1 through 8 in the Sprint Car Nationals.
Just want to give a shout out. We got a message on Facebook from Mark Ross saying a friend of his, Mark Beauregard, is here from Montreal, a sprint car virgin, he says. So welcome to sprint car racing, Mark.
Well, guys, one thing I want to mention, too, the Stiers family, when we planned this event, we ended up postponing it. And one of their relatives booked a wedding today. So Glenn, Tina, Kurt, the family, they're all at a wedding. And I saw Kurt last night, and I said, are you going to get back? He said, one dance, and I'm out of there. And I just saw Kurt come in the back door and get signed in. So, Kurt, thanks so much for everything that you guys do at Aero Express and with the family here to keep this place rolling. Glenn didn't make it back yet, but Kurt, we love you, brother. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. It's been a special 23 years, and we're going to keep rolling.
And Clint, I've got to say this as well. We'll wait till the cars die down, but what a great job you did this year. The turmoil in last offseason with the parking situation, you had a number of obstacles. I mean, tonight you're up on a ladder. Now, you did read us the riot act saying, don't say anything about me being up on a ladder and make fun of me. Clint, I would never poke fun, but I do want to congratulate you on doing a great job this season.
I appreciate it because you guys definitely see all the anger that goes into making it happen. I know I'm very intense, but hey, I just love this place, love what we do. I'm fortunate that my full-time job is to take care of race teams and fans, and lucky as heck, man. Thanks to have you guys here. We have a killer team. Amazing. Glenn just texted me, live stream is badass, boys.
Pole dash coming to the green flag. Parker Price Miller, Jonathan Preston on the front row. Mac Demand, Dane Nida in this, along with Davey Frannick, Max Stambaugh, Chuck Ebing, and Devin Dobie. Preston to the inside of Parker Price Miller. They drag race down the backstretch.
The accordion closes into turn number 3. All 8 cars just jammed together in 3 and 4.
Preston, your leader on the outside line. Dane Nida on the bottom side. Parker Price Miller running in third, and you've got that number 17 of Max Stambaugh right there in the thick of it as well.
The other 17 of Mac Demand just bounced through turn number 3, loses a spot to Chuck Ebing. Ebing working the middle groove as Demand has to check up in turn 2, but look at Dane Knight on the inside, that Burger Barn number 56.
2 laps left to go for Jonathan Preston, but here comes the law firm. Parker Price Miller gets it wind up in corner 2, but Dane Knight is strong on the bottom.
White flag is out one more time around.
Final time by for Jonathan Preston. Will he grab the checkers and the pole? Parker Price Miller tries the bottom side. That won't work off of corner 2. Through 3 and off of 4. Miller digging deep, but it won't work. Jonathan Preston will start from the pole. Parker Price Miller second. Dane Knight a third. Then it's Chuck Ebing in fourth. Fifth is Max Stambaugh. Fifth, Davey Frannick. Sixth will be Mac Demand, and seventh, Devin Dobie.
And here's something interesting for you. We had the opportunity to interview last night on our post-race show both Mark Smith and Sam Haferty, who by winning their Twin 15 features last night were guaranteed to start no worse than 9th and 10th here tonight. And both drivers said, we're not interested in 9th or 10th. We want to be near the front. We want to go out and win this race. But after noticing neither one of them made it to the dash tonight, I'm sure they're pretty thankful for the effort they put in last night to win the Twin 15s, as they will make up the 5th row in tonight's starting lineup. Clinton Jeffries in Lucas Oil Victory Lane.
Thanks, Adam. Jonathan Preston gets his helmet off. He'll work his way here out of the 22 machine and get ready to go. And he'll come down and talk to us. Quick brief intermission, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we're guaranteed minimum $5,000 in tonight's 50-50. You can get tickets at the speed shop. You can get them from the girls in the pink shirts as they're walking around. So he drives the Williams Insurance Agency Canandaigua Seal Coating Seeger Marine Machine. Here he comes around front. How about a big Ohsweken Speedway? Lucas Oil Victory Lane welcome for Jonathan Preston. Great job here tonight. One heck of a way to get the second part of your Nationals night underway. What goes through your mind now? You know you're going to start on the pole. What changes do you make, John?
The car's real good. It's real good on the top. I know it's going to get tough when I get into traffic. I can't believe I can run with these guys. I'm just a little hometown low buck, and I'm running with the best of the best, so this is awesome.
How's the track? It looks pretty slick out there, but still a bit of bite on the top, or where are you guys going to make it happen here in the A?
No, the track's beautiful. I mean, it's one of the raciest tracks we go. I mean, New York's very slick, and this is what I like to run on.
Anybody you want to thank for your solid start to your evening, bud?
I got to thank my crew, my dad, Chris, Ethan. Without them, they got this thing dialed in.
There you have it. Jonathan Preston, ladies and gentlemen, who'll be your #1 starter in tonight's main event for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Let him know you appreciate his efforts here, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's how the feature's going to line up. On the pole from Union, the Wilson's Used Cars #6M is Eric McGlone. On the outside of row #1, from Vanessa, Ontario, the Lucas Oil Oakwood Transportation #4 is Hannah Farrell. Starting third from Beachville, the DeGroot Hill #5 is DJ Christie, and outside of him from Beamsville, the Schneider Electric #1A of Paul Klager. Starting fifth out of Brantford, the Massage Pro #49L is Lucas Smith, and starting sixth from Six Nations, the 69 is Josh Hill. Starting seventh out of London, the Pinewood Horticultural Services #7 is Caleb Wood, and starting eighth out of Hamilton, the Burger Barn 56 is Derek Lemaire. Starting ninth out of Beamsville, the J&E Recovery Superior Petro Fuels #88H is Josh Hansen, and starting 10th from Ohsweken, the Canada Fuels #9C is Brian Nanakoke. Starting 11th from Ohsweken, the Case IH Rochester Nighthawks #68 is Aaron Turkey, and starting 12th out of Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. Starting 13th from Gore's Landing, the Mayhew Graphics #19 of Brandon Merle, and starting 14th out of Ransomville, New York, the 7F is Matt Farnham. Starting 15th from Port Colborne, the Lakeshore High School #5D is Jacob Dykstra, and starting 16th from Font Hill, the Summit XSO First Choice #08 is Stephen Beckett. Starting 17th from Ohsweken, Ontario, the 28 is Jordan Hill, and starting 18th out of Rockwood, Ontario, the Radio Shuttle 74 is Rob Neely. Starting 19th in the McDonald's #9 out of Brantford is Paul Ballantyne, and starting 20th out of Waterford, the Ohsweken Speedway 12 is Brad Heron. Starting 21st from Niagara Falls, the Pro Battery Shops #70 is Bailey Hurd, and starting 22nd out of Binbrook, the Mac Tools Brian Chaston Float Service #29 is Liam Martin. Starting 23rd from Carlisle, the Load Covering Trailers Gales Auto Aftermarket 18X is Davey Boughton, and rounding out the field from Windsor, the Jeff's Roofing #24 is Jeff Newham. Ladies and gentlemen, they are 4 wide to salute you, the fans. Get up on your feet and give these drivers a wave. Show them you appreciate what they're about to do. White flag from the big deal, Kyle McKenzie up in the flag stand next time out of turn #4. We will set them loose. Greg, they've got all winter to fix them. Drive them hard.
Oh, and DJ Christie has problems, so it looks like we're going to see a caution flag as the 5-star machine comes to a stop in corner 2. See him waving frantically down there.
See, that's when you're thankful. Bright yellow, green. What color is that?
That would be, actually in printing, that is lemon neon yellow.
Lemon neon yellow. That's why I asked you.
Neon lemon.
You're a man who understands colors, and DJ Christie hopefully going to get pushed off and refired. But the rule is, once you have fired once, if you need to be pushed off again for a reason other than safety related, you've got to go to the back.
First time I've ever seen this, guys, was going too slow and it just stalled out on him. So tough break for the youngster. What's he, 16?
I enjoy watching DJ come from the back. Yeah, he's in his mid to late teens, always smiling. And we'll watch for that 5 machine to drive it hard from the back of the pack. Eric McGlone on the pole. Hannah Farrell still looking for her first win in this series. Could tonight be the night?
I'll get us in a better spot.
Double greens in hand for Kyle McKenzie, and we are on it. Eric McGlone, the Hurricane. Hannah Farrell rumble down into corner 1.
Hannah Farrell with the advantage off of two. McGlone with a nice drive off the bottom. And Clinton Jeffrey, we can hear you want to play in this too.
Davey Boughton up and over. Red flag will come out on the backstretch.
How did that... I want
idea.
to see how that happened.
Well, there's your helmet throw, or your wheel throw. He grabbed that with both hands and dunked it.
Well, Davey Boughton, I mean, well documented how hard he tried to get back on the racetrack, got up into the loose stuff and just clipped the wall in turn 2. That's going to be expensive. Tyler Turnbull just sent me a note saying it's pretty close to day glow yellow. Of course, Tyler Turnbull, his father Colin Turnbull, longtime go-kart racers, TQ midget racers, and now Tyler Turnbull is working down south, I believe, with Roush Racing.
Davey Boughton, not the season you wanted, man. Former champion here in the mini stocks. You got a lot of help to get back out here. You selected the races you wanted to make. Tell us about your night right now, buddy.
First of all, I just want to let my girlfriend at home know, okay? Second,
We'll get you going.
I just want to thank Gail Hill for helping me even get back out here. If it wasn't for Gail, I wouldn't be standing here right now. Just everybody do whatever you can to get over to Gail's if you need anything. He is honestly the nicest man, and 3/4 of us probably wouldn't be out here without him. I just, like Clint said, I come from mini stocks, and I basically race this crate car on a mini stock budget, doing everything I can to try to run out here with the class of this field. If there's anybody out there listening that would honestly like to give me a chance and help me out with some sponsorship, that's all I need to try to get me rolling here with these guys. And I just want to thank the track and all these safety workers, and just thanks a lot.
We have from Davey Boughton, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for Davey Boughton, one of the hardest working crate guys out here. As you heard him say, running a crate sprint on a mini stock budget is not easy. We were able to hook him up with Gail Hill earlier this year, and he's done a good job to represent.
And Davey Boughton wears his heart on his sleeve, Greg. You know when he's happy, you know when he's angry, and he'll let you know it. And another replay here, Greg Boydell up in turn 2 had a great shot of him getting up over the cushion there, and thankfully all the safety gear worked. But Davey Boughton's the type of driver we need, right?
He is.
You know, he works so hard to get out there, and he'll let you know when he's short. You know, he'll let you know why. The reason I didn't come out for those 2 weeks, I didn't have the money to get to the track. And he works hard at it. People have reached out to give him some help, and he doesn't quit. He just keeps at it.
He's got that passion for the sport, and like you say, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and those are the type of people you want in motorsports, because that's what makes it entertaining.
That's the show. That's the show. And we learned earlier, if you enjoyed the pre-race show, and I even said it to Jordan Thomas, because when I watch him race on the racetrack, I think, man, that guy's got an attitude. Like, he races so hard, and he's the sweetest kid you'll ever meet. Like, to look at him sit there, and his family members are videoing the interview that we were broadcasting live anyhow on Facebook. It was just comical and cute. We need the personalities. We've got to get to those personalities so people know who they want to cheer for. If you don't have someone to cheer for, what the heck do you come to the races for, right?
No, absolutely, and the key to that is the personality and getting to know the drivers as well, and you know, I think that's been a big part with NASCAR, is so many favorites have gone over the last few years, and the older diehard crusty fans like us, our favorite driver retires, and you have a hard time connecting with those personalities and finding out who they are.
The reason I think you have a hard time relating to the young drivers, they allow drivers in much too young.
Yeah.
Make them come through the ranks. You knew where Bobby Labonte came from. You knew where Terry Labonte came from, because they built a name for themselves before they made it to the big leagues. So then you make it to the big leagues, you've got all those people following. Well, unless you've got a famous last name, nobody wants to know what you did in grade 5.
No, exactly.
And that's where these drivers are making their name, because by the time they're in grade 7, they're winning the biggest late model races in the country. But, you know, that's why, like this, we're building names. From the go-kart track off the back of turn number 3, where the kids race, where Terry Baker's kids race and Clinton Jeffrey's kids race, where Hannah Farrell started, where Holly Porter started, where Dylan Westbrook started.
Bailey Hurd.
And then you come to the big track, and you've already got a bit of a following, because we already know what they're about. Yep. Lance Erskine.
Yep.
Remember that name,
exactly.
folks.
Yep.
I I know I've met him before, but I talked to him a little bit last night. What a cool kid. Craig Erskine's son. Craig, a longtime racer here. He races for Burger Barn. He races on the small track out back. And mark my words, 5 years from today, we're going to be talking about him on Sprint Car Nationals weekend.
And Burger Barn's done a nice job in marketing him as one of their drivers. I know in doing the hero cards and t-shirts for the team, he's a part of that. He's part of it with the big team as well, and they do a great job marketing their drivers and getting them out there. And you're right, he's already got that following already kind of built up.
And my favorite part was, while he's there shaking hands and meeting people, his father Craig walks by with a broom in his hand, sweeping off the concrete pad. Just Craig Erskine's a great guy too. The Erskine family spent a lot of years racing here in different divisions, but I like Lance's charm when I met him last night.
Well, cars are back under power, and we'll try this one again. 20 laps here in the A main for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. I want to give a shout out to Strickland's, another one of our title sponsors here at the Speedway. As Clint announced last night, 3-year commitment, I believe it is, for all of our division sponsors going forward. So that's locked and secured, and we know that things will be going forward with all 4 divisions for the next few years.
That's correct, Greg. At the beginning of this year, we signed HRW Automotive, Middleport Mechanical, Strickland's GMC, and Cool Kids Core Pack for 3 more years, so we're solid through 2020, which is amazing.
And I think with the positive energy going on here, Clint, we are solid for a lot of years to come. And really, this year was a big one where Glenn Stiers, with the health problems, you know, he was racing a little bit and then had to step away from the race car. And I think everybody had to kind of take a deep breath and say, okay, how long is this going to be Glenn's playground for? But he made us rest easy last week or the week before when you interviewed him, Clint, and he said, I love this is what I do, and we're going to keep on doing this and having a great time. And he's never been more positive in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, Adam, we have more people calling us now to sponsor divisions. We actually have to turn them away because we're locked down. Want to let everybody know Glenn is doing awesome. He's super happy, healthy, looking good. Just another bad concussion could spell some trouble for him, so he's taking some time off for racing. But yeah, Glenn's here. Welcome back, Glenn. Kurt, hopefully your wedding went well. Here we go with the crate feature.
Green flags in the air once again from Pampers, Kyle McKenzie.
Back underway out in front, the Hurricane, Hannah Farrell, but Eric McGlone fighting on the bottom for the lead down the backstretch.
They're 3-4 wide further back, and Brandon Merle wisely backed out of the throttle there. Jacob Dykstra was coming up. Hannah Farrell's going to lead lap number 1.
Oh, close call for Brian Nanakoke and Josh Hansen as they touched just momentarily at the start-finish line. We stay green.
Josh Hansen just recently finally got that first victory that eluded him for so long.
Look who's back up there in the top 3 again. This guy, we talked about it earlier, has really turned up the wick here in the last month of the season. Paul Klager running 3rd.
Paul Klager, he's looking to get on that podium, preferably at the top step. And wow, Lucas Smith, he had to check up or he was going to land in about the 3rd row of the grandstands.
Good fight for that 3rd spot. Smith holding it down, and Paul Klager back there settles into 4th. Now the battle's for 5th as it's Josh Hansen and Caleb Wood side by side.
Deeper in the field, Paul Ballantyne going 3 wide with Bailey Hurd and Rob Neely. Neely brings it off of turn 4, carves it down the racetrack, so he'll take that position. What a season it's been for first-time winners, Greg, and Hannah Farrell out in front as we got problems in 3 and 4. What a save by Brandon. No, that's Matt Farnham.
Another one up into the corner 3 Bales. That was Liam Martin. He'll gather that back up, and we stay green after 2 incidents that I thought for sure would send us yellow.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. As we scan the racetrack, Jacob Dykstra having a great battle with Derek Lemaire in the Burger Barn 56, the Ohsweken Speedway 68 of Aaron Turkey.
The Hurricane out in front. Hannah Farrell, the Oakwood Transport, number 4, racing for Darren Barr Motorsports. That team, oh, big flip down on the front stretch in corner 1. Josh Hansen gets some major air time, and the red flag will come out again. Caleb Wood, look at the front end of the number 7 all sheared off as well. I caught the tail end of that one.
I saw it happening. They were battling, and neither driver would give an inch, and you saw them bounce off each other once or twice, and the cars got spit the wrong way. and it actually took a long time for that flip to start. But once they took off, man, they sure did lurch. Josh Hansen in a heap down there in turn number 1. The safety crew on the scene right away. They're tenacious, that safety crew. Slipping and sliding, but doing what they've got to do to get the car down. And Josh Hansen, man,
Janie, don't worry. He's out of the car under his own power, which is a great sign, ladies and gentlemen, after a crazy wreck. Josh Hansen recently turning 16 years old. Josh, don't want to take too much of your time. Let your mom know you're okay.
Yeah, I'm all good. I guess Caleb wanted that line more than I did, and kind of sucks to end the season this way, but we'll see everybody next year.
He grabbed a feature win a couple weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Josh Hansen? What a great young pilot he is, too. Former Maryville Speedway go-kart champion. His car is a mess down here, but let him know you appreciate it. As we said, all these drivers, they do it as a hobby, so we need to make sure we get them all home safe.
Clint, I know you're busy. See if you can go get a word from Caleb Wood. So we got Josh Hansen's side of the story, and that's what it looked like to me, was two drivers really fighting for the same piece of real estate even after it was already clear that was not going to work out.
Well, we'll get over here and get a word with Caleb.
It's like having a whizzing contest in a snowstorm. Even when you win, you still got frostbite.
That was kind of smart.
And
Caleb
Gross.
Wood over here in turn number 2. What happened out here, Caleb? Obviously, you got together with the 88.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad. I just got a really good run off 4 like I was, and he just kind of came up and, just happened. So I feel bad, and it sucks to have a race car like this, but thought we had a good car. Thought we had a winning car, but I just got to thank everybody and Glenn, and it'll be a good weekend no matter what.
There you have it, Caleb Wood, ladies and gentlemen, as you hear his remorse for getting into Josh Hansen a little bit there, and Caleb Wood with all kinds of damage, but he's still able to smile, and I know he'll be having a party with us tonight at the end. So you heard him say there, it's going to be a good weekend no matter what.
And that's, you know what, Clint, that's what you do so well. And we've always tried to do that here for the 20 years that we've been working here together.
Do you mean I party well?
Well, that too. But trying to get both sides of the story. We voice our own opinions all the time, but it's nice to hear it from the drivers. Get them right as they're getting out of the race car when their emotions are high. That's when you're going to get their truth, their version of the truth.
I go back to the night when Mac DeMann got in that horrible crash here in turn number 2. And he got out. He was pumped up, excited, upset, all at once. It was one heck of emotion there by Mac DeMann of that night. And Josh Hansen, going to be a tough competitor here in the years to come for sure, as will Caleb Wood, both of them in their second year here.
I commend the safety crew for trying to push and steer that car back to the pits, but that's an uphill battle.
Well, quick story about Josh Hansen, Adam, if I understand it correctly. His parents bought him the car 2 years ago. He was not old enough. You have to be minimum of 14 to race here at Ohsweken. And what happened was he had a car, was only 13, had to wait till Nationals weekend to get his first shot here in the sprint cars, and now he's of age and can get it done.
And he came out of the gates flying. Remember how fast he was in his first season? We were sure he was going to get a win last year. It didn't happen. And then this year, it was a bit of a struggle. He finally got to victory lane, but I think it took him a little longer than we probably thought it was going to take. But it's also a testament to the other 20-some-odd cars sitting on the racetrack.
Well, let's also recall Josh Hansen flipped wildly at the beginning of this season. So this is the second time he's been over hard this year.
We're back to yellow flag. Push trucks making their way around the track, picking up cars. Greg, do me a favor. Maybe Clinton's the better one to answer this, but I know that he's on the fly. This looks to me like chaos. Is there a system they go by for pushing off vehicles and where the cars need to run and where the push vehicles need to run?
Pure chaos.
Okay, so it is as it appears.
You know, we have a veteran push-off crew. They've been with us a long time. They bring in extra support for tonight. But these guys know what they're doing out, and they do a fantastic job, as do our safety crew, who also get into the role of pushing quite a bit. What the system over in the pits, Adam, I can tell you quickly, is once you get your car push started, you roll around the outside and it lets everybody push off on the bottom. Out here, you basically just get your line, hold it, we get you going, and then Doug will be yelling on the radio for you to find your position. But yeah, not a lot of choreography going on.
I thought there would be more. I thought there would be some magic that I didn't understand.
Look good, honestly.
Too much rules aren't good for anybody. Isn't that one of your lines, Adam?
Absolutely. I like analogies. It's like hot dogs. I like eating them, put on some mustard and ketchup. Don't tell me how they happen. See, we're almost in order once again. Didn't need to know how it worked. It's magic.
Well, also for the fans watching at home and here with us who don't know, our race director, Doug Leonard, has a radio that he can communicate to the drivers. They all have a receiver inside their helmet with a set of earphones that they're all wearing. And he will give out instructions like I'm assuming he just told the 24 of Newham to get around to the back end of the field, and you'll see the 24 pull off. I'm wondering what's going on with the Bailey Hurd 70. A lot of unburnt fuel out of that left bank in the headers. And I don't know if you can see it, but he is cooking that left rear as he puts around out here.
Yeah, that's a lot of flaming.
I got to wonder how much flame until the tire says I've had enough of this frying pan.
I was thinking that's pretty close to his left butt cheek, too. I mean, you're sitting right there.
Not to mention, if you just put your hand out the side, it's going to drop down. Now listen, we're listening to race director Doug Leonard right now. If he's continuing to talk to these drivers. Now, white flag is out. We'll try and get him on here. Adam, just hang tight. We'll see if we can get...
Yeah, we'll do that. And the reason it works is because it's a one-way communication. The drivers can't talk back because that would be crazy. But one-way communication, they all know what needs to happen.
Those are up and above or out of line, you go to the rear of the field.
Just hang here. He'll talk to them as we get ready to go. Or maybe not going this time. He already said we're ready to roll. We'll try and eavesdrop on him a little bit later.
Look at how slow Hannah Farrell is rolling in that Oakwood Transport number 4. Looking for career win number 1, the young lady from Vanessa, Ontario.
Green flag on the field, single file past the cone and on it down into corner number 1.
Eric McGlone again all over the back end of Hannah Farrell. He'll work the inside groove. Farrell's going to go up the racetrack to find her racing room. She gets a nice run off of turn number 4 and opens up a couple of car length lead over McGlone in the 6M.
Lucas Smith running back there in 3rd, Paul Klager 4th, and the fight for 5th is the one that's most entertaining at this point. Brian Nanico and Jacob Dykstra duking it out.
Dykstra down on the inside. He failed to qualify in the 360 sprint car tonight, but he's looking for a solid top 5 in the crate sprint. Oh, Hannah Farrell got slowed down in turn 2, and look at them 3 wide into turn 3.
She'd love to have corner 2 back all over again as they race off the corner. Lucas Smith charges to the inside, the 49L. Around the outside, Eric McGlone trying to get by both of them.
Lucas Smith with a good run through 1 and 2, aggressively takes the lead. Let's see if Hannah Farrell's able to regroup and fight back.
11 laps on the board, 9 to go for Lucas Smith over Hannah Farrell, Eric McGlone, Paul Klager, Jacob Dykstra, Brian Nanico back in 6th, and there goes Derek Lemaire up high in 1 and 2. And it'll stop it. Oh, Paul Ballantyne, and then Jordan Hill plows in to Derek Lemaire and brings out the caution on lap 11.
A perfect illustration how at some point you have to bail out. Paul Ballantyne tried to go by on the inside, and I think he realized this is not going to work, so he took his chances going high. Jordan Hill didn't give up. That I can do it, and just ran out of real estate. Safety crew on the scene. Derek Lemaire's car almost looks like it could be pushed away. I'd be surprised. It was pretty significant impact.
He's got a flat left front. Adam here on the Lemaire 56. We'll see if they can get this one fixed. I'm assuming they're going to want their work area time here. He gives me a thumbs up. He's upright. We'll get over here and check out Jordan Hill in the 28 car. Jordan, welcome back here, buddy. What happened? You tried to avoid the Burger Barn car, but couldn't quite steer clear.
Yeah, I just got up in the marbles or the dust up here on top, and I just couldn't drive it away from them. There's our season. I'm just going to take it back to the trailer.
Not a bad year for you to come out late in the season. You've had some good runs, Jordan. We'll watch for you next year.
Thanks. Have a nice night.
There he is, Jordan Hill, ladies and gentlemen.
The most polite interviews I've ever heard.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a nice night. Is it just me, Greg?
No, you're right. I heard that and I thought, wow, awful happy for what just happened.
Again, back to the point. I think these guys really appreciate being a part of a big show.
Tell them to take a seat. Good?
Clinton Jeffrey barking some instruction. He turned the mic on. I think he was going to talk to us and then realized he's going to... Well, that's him trying to push the hill number 28.
Well, the problem here, Adams, these sprint car drivers and the push trucks are upset about it all the time. They take these hard turns and it makes the push trucks jump the wheel. And Jordan will get shoved back. We'll stay out here and get ready to go. Jordan Hill is in that car from the Club 54 Racing. Jen and Coop got him that car, a former Holly Porter machine before she came to work for the Steyrs crew. Solid run for him, had some good runs out on the Action Sprint Tour. One of the guys who said he absolutely loved Brighton Speedway. He said, let's do this every time. I love it here, I'll drive it there. What a great time he had at Brighton.
Brighton Speedway is a great equalizer. It's a track where you really can't use big horsepower. You've got to get up on the wheel and really drive that place. Always entertaining racing. It is tight.
I welcome all our friends from Brighton here. I know there's a large contingent here tonight. Welcome all our friends at Brighton. I know Greg, Adam, myself. We spent a lot of time there the past 2 seasons as fill-in announcers. One of us has gone on rotation each week. And boy, I don't know about you guys, but I had an awesome drive down every week. So I didn't get burned once so far this year. Next time I go, it's going to be horrible, though, I'm sure, right?
I love Brighton Speedway. I dislike the drive, and I don't know if I'm welcome there anymore because it rains every time I go.
Well, we'll see if Greg and I get 13 requests each for next year and see how many you get.
Yeah, when we sit down and have that meeting where they dole out race nights, who's going to announce which?
One thing I want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed our live stream, our plan is to continue on Friday nights, not racing here. We're going to replay the season each and every Friday night. So when you're at home on 7:30 on a Friday thinking, what am I going to do tonight? Well, we'll go back and watch the races all over again from the start of the year. That's the plan. We'll be live each and every Friday night.
What was that show they used to have on MTV where they'd show videos and then they'd do little pop-up bubbles of...
Pop-up video.
Pop-up...
Now, Adam, that is called syndication, and there are royalty fees to the talent on those syndicated broadcasts. Do we still get paid every Friday night?
I was just wondering, is this an angle for more money?
My wife Angie is going to wonder why Laura Hughes shows up on Friday nights with pulled pork sandwiches, and we're doing a replay. We got to do this, right?
And when you look at it from that side of things, you know, we got all these friends out here not sure what they're going to do on Fridays. I had an old guy grab me yesterday and said, I'm going to have to go spend time with my wife all winter. You guys better work this deal out and get a roof over this baby.
We're about to go green. Lucas Smith out in front in the 49L. Hannah Farrell going to restart second, and the green flag flies.
9 laps left to go. Smith, Farrell, and McGlone lead them into corner number 1, but don't count out Flagger, Dykstra, and Brian Nanico really having a solid run. They were in 6th.
Yeah, who wouldn't be happy to see Brian Nanico get up there and put it on the concrete on the front stretch with a top 3 finish? Just outside of the top 5 right now, but he's wheeling that thing hard.
Smith out in front. Farrell trying to hold McGlone back there. She's got the 2nd spot nailed down right now, but she's not letting Lucas Smith get away.
How about that 7 machine of Matt Farnham? He's had his share of struggles tonight, but there's no quitting this young man from Western New York. And
yellow for Trevor Young down here in corner 4.
One night, you know what? When we watch these broadcasts through the off season, I'm going to get a stopwatch, and I'm going to time how quickly, not that the safety crew arrives on the scene, but how quickly they're in the window of a race car from the time you see the race car stop. Folks, for the rest of tonight, hopefully we don't need them very often, but have a look at that, how quick the safety crew gets to the scene. Poor Carly Hendricks. I've done this to her a couple of times now. When we were talking in the hospital, of course, Tyler broke his neck here last month. burst into tears, and oh wow, Trevor Young, as we look at the replay, that he was fortunate to get that slowed down. But burst into tears tonight in the pre-race show as well, talking about Amanda Rockery on the safety team and the care that she gave Tyler Hendricks.
Yeah, Amanda was there right on the scene and held his neck still the entire time and was there until the ambulance arrived on scene. And that was quite a period of time as well. And she was right there in the forefront.
Well, guys, I'm down here with Trevor Young. Trevor, it's been a not too bad season for you. Still trying to get a handle on this sprint car. Welcome back to school, Mr. Teacher.
Bump just upset me. I think the car bounced about 3 times and someone got me once I settled out and knocked the front end out of it.
One of the nicest guys in the crate division, Trevor Young, guys.
I thought he just big leagued you. I thought you asked him a question and then it went dead silent. I thought, boy, that doesn't seem like Trevor Young.
No, and the other thing we want to mention here too about these microphones, right? They're made for a singer on stage 5 feet from the receiver. We're using them behind all this fence, which is basically a huge antenna. There's a tiny, tiny transmitter in the bottom end of my microphone, and I'm shocked we get it to go as far as we do.
I still enjoy it, Clinton. I enjoy listening to you.
I think you said it good the other day because my phone wasn't working. You said, you just got nothing electronic that'll work. And I said, no, that's my dad. He cursed about that. Can't seem to get anything to work, but if you get every third word, we'll make it.
Yeah, Cousin Eddie and the steel plate in his head. Every time he runs the microwave, he forgets who he is for a few minutes.
Well, there was more to that statement, wasn't there?
There was more to that, but...
Keep your eye on the Bailey herd. It is still. So when he's idling around here, it looks like he's dumping a lot more fuel in that can be burned is what I think is going on out that left side bank. When he gets back on it, it seems to go away. Almost like when you see the modified or sportsman cars and they get stalled around and the fuel's in there and it looks like a big fire out the back. But no, under idle, the Bailey herd 70 flaming up pretty good. But when he stands on it, it goes.
He's up to speed. He's not having a bad run. He started deep in the field. DJ Christie doing a nice job. He's up there in the top 10 after having to go to the back.
7 laps left to settle it. Lucas Smith will set the pace and bring a single file past the restart cone. The entire field gets on the loud pedal and we are back at it.
Smith with a great run through 1 and 2 once again. Eric McGlowan up there in third. Brandon Merle just had a moment deep in the field, lost a couple of spots, but able to keep on trucking.
Smith and Farrell at the front. Farrell keeping the leader in her sights this time in this restart. She got a much better jump on this one and stays right there on the back Nerf bar of Lucas Smith.
Lucas Smith is trying to be a little bit fancy on the bottom of the racetrack. We got to remember he's a rookie sprint car racer and he's super aggressive, but out in front he's got nobody to show him the way.
He's got 1 feature win this year already. Don't forget, Hannah Farrell doesn't have one, and she is hungry. All over the back end of the 49L, she can smell that first checkered flag.
And as the laps wind down, I'm not sure if she wants to make the move quickly, but if she sizes it up and makes it come into the white flag, I think that might be her best shot, because you know that Lucas Smith will throw a slider immediately. And Hannah Farrell loses some ground in 2.
And troubles for Brad Herron, and we've got another one. Is that Jeff? Nope, not Jeff Newham. That's Josh Hill, maybe?
Yeah, that could be.
Josh Hill around in 4 along with Brad Herron.
I have to think Hannah Farrell would be a pretty popular winner.
Oh, definitely she would. Very nice young lady, and another one of those micro sprint racers that is here on the big track now. Clinton's down trackside.
Well, that's one thing I was just going to add about. You were talking about micro sprints and Adam and how we know them from their youngsters. Hannah Farrell, Holly Porter, Dylan Westbrook are some of the names out there racing in the expert division here each and every Thursday night. So they are honing their craft even in the smaller cars. And if you've not seen those smaller cars go, you think these cars look snaky, you got to see those 500cc micro sprint cars go around our little push-off track. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The other thing about Hannah, just finished grade 12 last year. She was her high school female athlete of the year. So got a lot going for this youngster.
Well, and we've told the story before. She was here on a Friday night racing, and we've got pictures of her in her fire suit and her in her prom dress the same night, because once the races were over, she was out of here.
What I want to know is, where is her mom, Christine? Christine, where are you? Are you watching? Her mom doesn't even watch the races. Sits in the grandstands and turns away the entire feature, is what I'm told.
My mom didn't like watching me race at all.
I have to see it. I would not be able to not watch the kids go at it.
But I think we're going to try, Connor's going to try to do some racing next summer as well on the small track. We race go-karts down at the Waterloo Club, but just doesn't suit our schedules. We're going to try some Thursday night racing next season.
Time to get dirty, boys. We'll be here.
I'm training McLean to be an announcer. It's a lot cheaper.
You aren't kidding. Lucas Smith once again going to lead the way. Hannah Farrell in second. They get on the throttle coming out of turn 4. We're back underway as laps wind down. It'll be 3 laps to settle this one.
They are on it. Hannah Farrell right there, and that caution flag may have played into her favor because she did bobble a little in corner 1 that previous lap before the caution and gave up some real estate, but she is right there now.
And she needs that lap to get up to speed. She swings to the outside in 1 and 2. She is definitely better in 3 and 4 than she is in 1 and 2.
Here she comes on the outside line. White flag is out. Final trip around for Smith and Farrell.
Farrell gets a good run into turn number 1. Oh no! She'll loop it to a complete 360. Keep her foot on it. No, up into the wall. Her night is going to end.
Oh, Brandon Merle almost had a moment.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to make that middle lane work, and the car just spun the right rear and she went around.
And turn 2 had been the tough spot for Hannah Farrell. She really had the speed in 3 and 4. Hats off to her for trying. She wanted that one. Clinton Jeffrey walking over to the 4 machine.
I just got to move my buggy here quickly. We'll get you right back to you. Hannah Farrell sitting in the car. We'll try and get a word with her. Move out of the way so the tow truck can do their business, and we'll get right back to you here. Adam, 1 second.
Wow, what a view from Greg Boydell's cam. Both cameras, I think, got a good shot of that, but Greg Boydell, man, you're on fire tonight.
Greg will be over there for our post-race show as well. So, Greg, as soon as we're done here, make your way back over there, get set up. Hannah, what a night for you. You almost led this one for a while. You went for the win. Just lost the handle a bit in 2, but you got to go for it. How tough is this one to swallow?
It's pretty tough. That was a really good race. We were both in a just lost it coming out of 2.
A little bit dejected, as you can imagine, guys, but she said it was a great race going for her. And dejected, as you can imagine, but her and the bar team have nothing to be disappointed about. As the cars are on the front stretch, back stretch, how about it for Hannah Farrell? Make some noise.
It's tough to ever fault a race car driver for going for it. That's what we're here to watch.
Well, Adam, like you say, you could hang in there and just run for second, or you can throw everything you got at it. That move was working for her on the outside.
And you have to try.
Yeah.
You have to do it. Now, let's talk about another first-time winner. Paul Klager gets up to that 2nd spot.
This guy's Mr. Mod Light over the years and started out here in the crate sprint car division this season. Had that vicious crash in corner number 3, and I'm sure Paul was kind of questioning things, and now in the last part of this year, he has been right there at the front every night, and now he's in contention for his first crate sprint car victory, and I'm sure he's feeling that he's arrived in sprint car racing now, that you can tell there's the confidence now.
And I've known Paul for a long time. He's a great racer. I promise you right now he is planning this final lap. Lucas Smith is going to go to the inside in 1 and 2. He's going to drive it down into the corner. He's going to pin it to the inside. He's been doing well at that. So if you're Paul Klager, do you try to do what Hannah Farrell did? Or do you wait until 3 and 4 when things open up a little bit more? Greg, what's your move?
It's a little slippery in corner 2. That's all I'll say right now. So I almost say you've got to just keep pace with him in 1 and 2. And take your shot in 3.
I agree with you entirely. Shadow him through 1 and 2. Either try to get a run off the bottom, stay in the tacky stuff, and make the move in 3 and 4? We're about to find out. Lucas Smith going to bring him back to the green flag. 1 lap to go.
Green and white in the air from Kyle McKenzie. Last trip around of the season for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division, and Matt Farnham now decides he's going to enter the mix as well.
Wow, Lucas Smith with a great restart on the bottom. He has got this one in the bag. Checkers in the air. Farnham gets through for second. Klager finishes third. Lucas Smith, that was not a rookie restart.
No, it was not. Great restart for the driver. The 49L picks up his second win of the year under the fireworks, courtesy of Lone Wolf Fireworks, the official provider of Ohsweken Speedway. Check them out, Highway 54 in Middleport. You can find them online on Facebook. Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky for Lucas Smith, headed back to Lucas Oil Victory Lane, along with Paul Klager and Matt Farnham. Farnham grabs second at the line over Klager.
Left, 7. Left. Cement pad, there you go.
Where is Klager going? Oh, okay, he's...
That was a good race. I was hoping the Ford car. Yeah. Never won a big ball. It would be great.
Well, Lucas Smith brings the Massage Pro 49L National Building Group machine here into Lucas Oil Victory Lane for the second time in 2018. Quickly out of the car, and that's the way we like to see it. A bit of emotion here from Lucas Smith as he quickly gets out and is ready to come over here and celebrate with us in Lucas Oil Victory Lane. Quick mention, ladies and gentlemen, half-price food at the front grandstand concession. Everything they got cooked is half-price at the front grandstand concession right now. Here he goes up to the top ring, ladies and gentlemen. Lucas Smith wins the final GMC Strickland Crate feature of the season. We'll get in here and get a word with them. Lucas, great drive. Second win of the year as a rookie. That's something to be really proud of. You were in the points battle in the early part of the year. Talk about your season for us.
Yeah, you know, we started out great, and then things were just going so smoothly, and then we started to find out, you know, just how many things you can break in a sprint car. Then we got our feet back under us at the end of the year, and it feels so awesome to be here again, especially at the Sprint Car Nationals. I know it's not the 360 win, but man, does it feel like it.
Let's talk about Hannah Farrell's battle with you in that middle portion. Did you see her go around on the outside?
Yeah, I could hear her coming up around the outside there, flirting, but I wasn't going to change what I was doing. I knew it was working. And yeah, it's just, she wanted it. She was going to have to fight me for it.
Good job, Lucas. He grabs his second win of the season.
And I got to thank all my sponsors, Massage Pro, Gales Auto Aftermarket, National Building Group, Cedar Springs Water Haulage, Retail Design Group, my parents, my family. We got to thank all the fans. Thank you guys all for coming out. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show.
We got it, Lucas Smith. We'll get it done. And Lucas is going to pull out our winner. What we at, Bev? $6,020. Get out your 50-50 tickets. You can read that, Lucas.
It's got my name on it. 36306.
Read that out, Bev. Make sure it's good.
I can't see it.
I'll read it for you. 36306. 36306. You're $6,000 richer. Come on over here, Matt Farnham. Matt, pretty good start to your sprint car career. Won the Action Sprint Tour race at Humberstone. Finished second here. That's a first and a second in 2 races. Pretty darn solid.
Yeah, I got to thank the entire Hoddick Racing team for giving me the chance to do this. My buddy Scott, who's going to be racing here in a second, he's been pretty much being a mentor in this operation for us. Overall, I can't say enough about everybody that's been working on this car past couple weeks since we first decided we were going to try it at the end of the year. Composite Fiber Works, Merzak Trucking, all my guys that just help on whether it's my modified or on this car, and it's a good way to end the season.
We're going to see her next week or next year weekly?
Not weekly, but every now and again, hopefully, if I get a chance to, I'll be in this thing.
There it is, Matt Farnham. We'll grab second. We'll get over here and grab a word with Paul Kleger. Paul, you've been in these battles a lot this season. Let's talk about your run tonight. Pretty good way to finish off your year. A couple of thirds. I know you wanted more, but not too bad for a rookie year.
Yeah, you know what? The car's really coming to its own, and the crew's doing a fantastic job. And we're starting to figure this sprint car deal out, right? But I can't thank my girlfriend Ingrid enough for letting me come out and play all the time. She's a big supporter. All my sponsors, Schneider Electric stepped on board this year after I lost one of my sponsors, so that's great. Lucas Oil, RCM, 5 Senses of Fun, Canadian Tire, Desjardins, Philbrook Farm and Garden. All them guys have been great. And thanks to the fans, thanks to Nitro 54 for putting up the extra money. That's really nice for us crate guys to think about us. And everyone here at Ohsweken, they treat us so good. So thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Paul. How about a hand for our top three in our GMC Strickland Crate final feature of 2018? Lucas Smith, Matt Farnham, and Paul Kleger get it done here on the front pad, and we'll pick up the big check here from Dan Anacoke, $1,000, $750, and $500 with the top three purse monies for these guys tonight. But the big one's coming, guys. $10,000 US, and if you're in this field, you already $1,000 US richer. We'll turn it up to you guys as we begin pre-staging here for the 14th annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals presented by Aero Express and supercharged by Nitro 54 Variety.
Now we will bring you the starting lineup for the 14th annual Aero Express Canadian Sprint Car Nationals supercharged by Nitro 54 Variety. Starting in 30th out of St. Catharines, Ontario, in the Overland RNC car number 80, it's the real deal, Chris Steele. Starting 29th out of Shenango Forks, New York, driving the Scorpion Security Products number 14, it's Coleman Gulick. Going from 28th out of Sparrow Bush, New York, in the Profab number 56 is Billy Van Inwigen. Starting 27th out of Germantown, Ohio, in the Germantown Veterinary Clinic number 28H, it's James Hud Horton. Going from 26th out of Brantford, Ontario, the Strode's Barbecue number 10, Downtown, Mitch Brown. Starting in 25th out of Caister Center, in the Town Line Variety number 97, it's Corey Turner. Starting 24th out of Oswego, New York, in the East Coast Seal Coat number 54 Junior, it's Steve Hutchinson Jr. Going from 23rd out of Cloverdale, Ohio, in the M&W Construction number 17, it's Jared Horseman. Starting 22nd out of Brewerton, New York, in the Pit Stop Convenience Stores number 87, it's Racing Jason Barney. Going from 21st position out of Wayland, New York, the Empire Tractor number 47, it's Kyle Drum. Starting at 20th out of Harding, Pennsylvania, the Mechanical Service Company number 79, it's Jordan Thomas. In 19th out of Six Nations, the Town Line Variety 77X, the Six Nations sensation, it's Alex Hill. Starting 18th out of Antwerp, New York, in the Route 37 Building Supplies number 10C, it's Jeff Cook. Going from 17th out of Portland, Michigan, the Sweet Manufacturing number 85, Double D, Dustin Daggett. Going from 16th out of Bradford, Pennsylvania, in the Bundle of Warmth number 35, The Juice, Jared Zimbardi. Starting 15th out of Scotland, Ontario, the Bradshaw Brothers number 47X, it's D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Starting 14th out of Welland, Ontario, the Gibbons Contracting number 14H, the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen. Starting 13th out of St. Matthew de Beloit, Quebec, in the Four Seasons Foundation number 28, it's Jordan Poirier. This man's a three-time winner out of St. Matthew de Beloit, Quebec, the Four Seasons Foundation's number 28 FM, the Fireball, Steve Poirier. Starting 11th out of Cowlsville, New York, the Fiberworks Composite number 49, the Straight Shooter, Scott Kruder. Starting in 10th out of Rockwall, Texas, in the Original Traders Energy number 15H, it's Sam Hafer-Teep Jr. Starting in 9th out of Sunbury, Pennsylvania, the Foundation's 55, number 55, it's Mark Smith. Going from 8th out of Ohsweken, Ohio, the Ferris Commercial Mowers, number 23, this is Devin Doby. Going from 7th out of Mississauga, Ontario, the Ackland Insurance, number 17X, he's the highlight man, Mac DeMann. Going from 6th out of Wantage, New Jersey, the Dave Franek Auto Sales, number 28F, it's Davey Franek. Going from 5th out of Lima, Ohio, the Jared Horseman Racing 17H, this is Max Stanbaugh. Going from 4th out of Ontario, New York, the Wilkins RV number 45, he is the Cobra, Chuck Hebing. Starting 3rd out of Adrian, Michigan, the Kingpin Farms number 56, and it's Dynamite, Dane Nida. And here is your front row for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Starting 2nd out of Kokomo, Indiana, in the Jocksticks, number 67X, it's the law firm, Parker Price Miller. And starting on the pole out of Romulus, New York, in the Williams Insurance, number 22P, it's Jonathan Preston. These are the 30 drivers that make up the 14th annual Aero Express Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, supercharged by Nitro 54 Variety. Drivers will get in their cars, get buckled up and ready to go racing for $10,000 of U.S. cash. They've already guaranteed $1,000 just to start this A main. That's a prize in itself. But all the eyes are on the big paycheck. And the winner will be crowned in 35 laps. Thank you, everyone, here tonight. Great crowd on hand for this event, both here in person and online. Great crowd over in the backstretch stands as well. And a fabulous field of race cars ready to go with this 14th annual edition of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Guys, this is what we wait for all year long, our crown jewel event. At one point in the offseason, we thought it may not even happen. So glad that we're having it this year.
Well, how could you pass this up? I mean, yeah, it would have been a huge loss not to have this event. You look up and down that front straightaway, it's a who's who of Wayne Dirt Sprint Car Racing. Tommy's looking at stats, Greg. Look at that page he's got open there. He's looking at names, he's looking at the history. What are you picking up there, Tommy?
Well, I was just thinking about, we've had 9 people who've won Canadian Sprint Car Nationals features. Before tonight, we'd had 258 drivers try to qualify, or try to win, I should say. Only 9 have won it, so it's pretty tough to win.
You're an elite company. If you've won this race, I mean, up and down that list of winners, there's nobody that snuck in there.
No, definitely not. I mean, you go through the list. Steve Poirier's won it 3 times. Shane Stewart, who's now driving for Kyle Larson on the World of Outlaws Trail, he's won it 3 times. Jessica Zemkin won it. She started 14th the year that she won it. Brian Howland started 20th and won, so it can come from anywhere.
Only 3 previous winners in the field tonight. Parker Price Miller starting 2nd. He won in 2016. Sam Haferteep Jr. starting in 10th. He won in 2011. And then Steve Poirier won it in 2012, 2007, and 2006.
Can a driver from Ontario get it done?
That's the big question, and we've been waiting for the previous 13 editions. The closest yet, correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy, but I believe it was Jamie Collard finishing 3rd one year.
Yeah, well, Collard and also Jim Hoopin have finished 3rd one
Correct.
year. Kevin Jobe finished 3rd one year. And so we've had a few 3rd place, but yeah, definitely looking for that next step up here if you're an Ontario fan.
Guys, one thing that came for me when I was reading Tommy's Nitro 54 Hard Charger Award press release is how deep this race has been won from. Multiple and many times. Very few times have they come from right up front.
Well, you know what? Starting in the front and beating a dead horse here, because we've said it, you are at a disadvantage if you're leading the race. You make the decision. You choose where you're going to run. If you're running 2nd all the way to the back of the field, you can see where everyone's able to make gains. You can see where people can really pick up ground. The leader does not have that luxury.
There's no spotters here to tell you, well, this line's working a little bit better. You have to figure that all out on your own, and if you're out front, you have no idea what everyone else is doing until they get by you.
And I think that's important to share. No spotters. There is nobody to help. There's nobody to give you that guidance. The only voice these racers have in their head is from race director Doug Leonard, and it's all instinct.
Well, 9 wins this year for Dylan Westbrook here at Ohsweken Speedway. Picks up the championship again. How huge would that victory be if he were to cross a line first? I think some of the grandstands here may come down with the huge support that Dylan Westbrook has here at the Big O every week. Finished 5th last year. I believe it was 5th. He was top 5 with both the World of Outlaws and the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals 1 year ago. Had a phenomenal year, and he's been fast all night. He was the quickest to time trial this evening. Won both awards, the fastest Canadian and fastest overall.
All right, ready, Doug?
There's so many awards given out, so much cash handed out. Clinton Jeffrey.
Ladies and gentlemen, you ready for the 14th Annual Canadian Sprint Car National? I need to hear you make some noise. And a big one, it's Saturday night here at Ohsweken. Let me hear you get loud. If you guys can be a little bit louder, we'll get these push trucks. Are you ready to go? Let me hear you one more time. Push trucks, fire up those push trucks. Let's see your beautiful lights. They're up in turn 4. We have an amazing push truck crew. They have brought their own machines here, and they're looking pretty with the LED lights. Are you fans ready? One final time, let me hear ya. Drivers, push those cars. Let's go racing.
We've talked about the 30 drivers that are in this field, and we've talked about the emotions. Think if you're a driver that's been in this A-main before, but you didn't qualify, you're sitting over in the pits tonight. What's that got to feel like when you've been out here, you've been part of the 5 wide and been part of this 35 lapper, and now you're not in it. That's the valley in the sport.
It's your motivation.
Yep.
It's why you come back next year. It's the reason. Jordan Thomas finished 2nd last year. He said he has laid up nights thinking about what he could have done differently behind the wheel of that 79 machine. You have to wait that full year. You don't get the opportunity to redeem yourself for that long.
Push trucks get in behind this field and get set and ready to send them off. Strickland GMC Pace truck will pull out, and the field will take shape behind, and we'll get this race underway. 14th annual edition of the Aero Express Canadian Sprint Car National, supercharged by Nitro 54 variety. Again, my name is Greg Kellman, along with Adam Ross here in the tower and Tommy Gooch, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside. Glad that you could join us here in person and online.
I love Tommy Gooch. I'm sitting here thinking this is going to be fun. I'm going to get excited. It's going to take my breath away. He's researching the value of the U.S. versus Canadian dollar.
I didn't do that. Mason Henry on Twitter did that and sent it to us.
Okay. Okay.
He said this is what the Canadian drivers are racing for. Over 13,000 Canadian is worth 10,000 U.S. right now.
That's a pretty good payday. There's not many races out there that offer you that kind of a return. The prestige, the beautiful hardware.
Well, guys, just want to mention we will be having a big pit party late into the night, ladies and gentlemen, right outside the tech barn. You're all welcome to come over. We're going to have a staff and driver party tonight with a live band. Steel City going to be there performing. We wish you all could be there. And while we're wrapping up all my business from the infield, I want to wish our good friends and employees, Chris and Johnny Miller, happy 17th anniversary. Or no, more than that, it's on the 17th.
And we have to wish a happy birthday to Scott Kruder.
And Kelly Hebing, too.
Oh, Link Harrison. Every time you guys say Nitro 54, I take a drink. Nitro 54, Nitro 54, Nitro 54. Bottoms up, Link.
Could have done that with Burger Barn last night.
I had my mouth full. It's been so much fun this season. Always a good time. Tommy, we need you out more often.
Yeah, maybe I might be able to. Well, is my wife watching right now? No, she's not listening. I might be able to a few more times next year. We'll see. Gotta tell my boss that Saturday shifts don't need to happen anymore.
Your wife makes you work a Saturday shift?
No. She likes it when she's not a huge fan of me being gone 2 nights in a row, so she just tolerates Nationals weekend a little bit more than she enjoys it.
Life is all about balance.
But I haven't missed one of these yet. I've been here for all 14 and had a mic in my hand for 11 of them now.
The field taking shape down the back straightaway. So Clint, are you going to chime in when Doug gives the call? The fans be able to hear that?
Yeah, I think we could do that. The call for the 5 wide? Is that
That's what I'm talking about.
It'll be coming up here shortly. I was just going to get all this amazing hardware we've got to get out to Victory Lane, but we can do that at the completion. Go for it.
Okay, here we go, drivers. We're going to build this up. We're going to go 5 wide. We get to turn number 1. I need the odd rows to split. 97, I need you to drag your feet. You're going to start with the inside row. Odd row split, even still. 54, back. No, you're all right, 54. Okay. It's 97 and 10 are going to slide to the inside. Okay, 97, shoot her down the inside. 10, you can follow. I need those last 6 cars. Go right down. Keep it up.
Well,
56, drop her down. 56, drop her down. Inside row. 80, drop her down.
And there's your mass chaos, Adam. Great job, Doug. Great. Here we go. Great job, drivers. Great job. We are on it. 5 wide. Greg, it's all yours.
I think it was 6 wide.
Well, in the first ever 6 wide salute. I think next year we should just do 2 rows of 15.
That was amazing. Great job, everybody. We're just about ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh well. He wanted to be in the picture, I guess.
It'll be one that goes to the line next time. It'll be one that goes to the line next time.
The calm before the storm. That is a wide, smooth racetrack. Before we get rolling, hats off to the Speedway track prep crew. This place was a disaster in the spring. It was the worst racing surface in the history of Ohsweken Speedway. Dan Westbrook and the crew, you guys were amazing this year. To build up to this point right here, this is a beautiful racetrack.
White flag is out. Next time by, we're going green flag racing in the 14th annual Aero Express Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, supercharged by Nitro 54 variety. 15 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Jonathan Preston, Parker Price Miller on the front row. The Strickland GMC pace truck pulls off down the backstretch. Kyle McKenzie with double green flags in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. Parker Bryce Miller takes the early lead, but here comes Jonathan Preston. He'll make it 3 wide with the Cobra.
Wow, that was close down there. Adam, go ahead.
Bold move by Jonathan Preston, shooting it up the middle. Chuck heaving a lead, lap number 1.
Preston back to the point, but here comes the Cobra. He'll strike back, grabs a lead back, and we got trouble for Coleman Gulick, but he'll get the car righted. Yellow flag is out.
Air on the side of caution.
It looked like Gulick was like stopped dead there, and then he just gassed it up again. That was pretty cool.
He push started himself down the hill there in 3 and 4.
Unfortunately, the yellow was already out, but
now we talk about this week in and week out, but let's look at wing angles as they go down the backstretch. Man, there's some huge angle there on the 3rd place car. So Chuck Hebing is fairly flat. But Parker Price Miller, man, he's got some wing pitched into that.
Good exchanges there, the drop of the green flag amongst the top 3 as they went back and forth. With Chuck Hebing out in front. Started in the 4th spot. He's right up where he wants to be. Just seems every year there was some sort of issue for the Cobra and just kept him from starting near the front and being a serious contender to win, but he means business this year.
We're going to come to green flag this time of a turn number 4. Man, oh man, single file. Look at that. The race leader is in turn 3. Last place is in turn 1. We're going to be into lap traffic by lap 3.
Back to the green flag. Chuck Hebing will bring us down the front stretch and into corner number 1. Here comes Parker Price Miller and Jonathan Preston back at it side by side for second.
Whoa, one way off the track and tumbling off the end of the back straightaway. That was Jonathan Preston.
22? Yeah. Jonathan Preston up and over, still upside down on the hay bales up there in corner number 4 is where the car rested. He hopped up over the berm in corner 3 and took a vicious ride up into the catch fence. Safety crew on the scene. And a rough start to this 14th edition of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals.
Man, Jonathan Preston, a bit of a surprise to see him on the pole for this one. Safety crew on the scene. And it's always a good sign. It's always a good sign when they start moving the race car, trying to position it to allow the driver to climb out, because they won't do that until the driver gives them some indication that he's alert, awake, able to be repositioned. We're just having a look at the replay now. He goes into 3 up on the high side. I haven't seen many cars really start to bounce up there in the high groove like he did, but Clint, just as he was pitching the car into the corner, it just took a couple of chatters into the turn. He got up off the banking and that car went sailing.
I got him here, Jonathan. We were just talking about how humbling this sport can be. You were right on top of the world an hour ago, and here you are upside down in turn 4 at Ohsweken. Are you okay? That's the main thing. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just the car's not so good. Just cut a rut, and it's racing. I'm not too happy, but what are you going to do?
At least he's all right. Thanks for coming, Jonathan. How about it, fans? He can hear you now. One more round of applause for Jonathan Preston.
What a great job by Dave Stiers to get that flip, man. Our camera crew, and I saw a comment earlier about the quality of the broadcast, the quality of the camera work. There's nobody better. We've got a great team. They capture the action. Spencer producing things down below in the dungeon. Is someone going to let him out for the off season?
I've seen him once this whole year. I still haven't met Robert. So still 34 laps left to go to settle this one.
Shout out to Dan Murphy. Please send a shout out to my hubby Dan. That's what the note we just got from Roxanne Murphy. We're going to get messages, I'm sure, from wives and girlfriends. Please send my husband back. I haven't seen him since the long weekend in May.
They showed some pictures of Jonathan Preston's car on the live stream, and that frame is definitely junk. The down tube had a big bend in it. Landed very hard on the nose.
Yeah, all the safety equipment, of course, doing what it's meant to do, and that's what we like to see, you know. We don't want to see crashes. When we do, the best part is seeing the driver climb out. And most often that is what happens, but it's been a tough summer.
All right, white flag is being displayed, so we're going to get back at it. Next time around with Cobra, Chuck Hebing leading over Parker Price, Miller, Davey Franek, Max Stambaugh, and Dynamite Dane Knight has really had quietly an awesome night for that Burger Barn Racing team.
We say that every year about Dane, don't we? He's had a quiet night and he's up in the top 5 as usual.
54 seconds from the rear, 54 seconds from the rear. Come on, guys, get up and around the 54. Up and around the 54.
Greg, your dad pointing out that Hebing has a Ford engine in. I know your dad is a big Ford fan.
As am I. Can the blue oval get it done? We'll find out. He's looking very strong as he's ever.
And you can see he's up on the wheel. He was up to the task. That was some tight racing there in the first lap. Like slide, they're not even slide jobs. They're just going through the corners that close, and nobody is giving an inch. That's what we're here to see. Green flag. Chuck Hebing getting back on the loud pedal to start things once again. Wheelie down the front stretch.
So here we go again. Parker Price Miller on the top, Hebing on the bottom, and Franek keeping pace with them as well. Here comes Horseman up to 4th.
Sam Haverdeep looking to break into the top 5 in that blue and white, number 15.
And off the banking, up in corner number 3, another car went off. That time was Dustin Daggett. He'll lose a ton of real estate, as right now it's the Cobra, Chuck Hebing leading over Parker Price Miller and Davey Franek.
Problems up there. That's Coleman Gulick up in turn 2, and I believe he's going to take it pit side. That'll end his night.
So Gulick to the pits. We mentioned Dustin Daggett a minute ago. He's the only driver to make all 14 Canadian Sprint Car Nationals features, but he's going to be one of the first cars in Chuck Hebing's sights here, as Hebing can already see the back of the field.
Look at Dylan Westbrook going into turn 1. He's about half a lap behind the leaders. He's running up on the outside. Looks to be keeping a fairly good pace, but out in front, Chuck Hebing having his way right now. Parker Price Miller hot on his heels. As I say that, Hebing bobbles into.
Down in corner number 3, new leader, Parker Price Miller. They've got the lap car of Jared Horseman right in between them as the Cobra, Chuck Hebing, tries to sling down low. That nearly got close with Bud Horton and Jared Horseman, but somehow the Cobra keeps pace with Parker Price Miller.
I don't know how he did that. We've got one off. Is that Davey Franek that just blew off the top of 3?
Yes, it was, and he gets it gathered back up. Allows Sam Haverdeep back by him.
Wow. Price Miller just hit a big run down there in corner 3. Kept it on all 4s though, as he tries to put a lap on Dustin Daggett. And this is where Parker Price Miller is going to have to fight with a pretty good car here. And look at Hebing right back on his tail end again.
And Dustin Daggett's not going to lay over. Hebing looks to the inside to try to grab the lead.
Here he comes down the front stretch, charges into corner 1, diving down in deep, slides up in front of Miller. That won't work. Parker Price Miller continues to lead into corner 3.
And he knew that slider was going to work. You can kind of see the attitude of the car. He did not complete it. Alex Hill goes a lap down. Whoa, we got one way off in turn 3 and 4 up by the hay bales. I believe that's Mac. That's Mac DeMann.
Back up front, it's still Parker Price Miller putting a lap on Corey Turner now, or trying to. Hebing still keeping him in sight. And behind them, it's a long way back to Max Stambaugh. in the third position.
And Max Stambaugh right now is in the thick of some lap traffic and kind of got a bit of a buffer back to him and Sam Haferteep, who has worked his way now inside the top 5.
Haferteep up inside the top 5, but a long way behind in terms of real estate as Parker Price Miller coming out of 4 and Haferteep just coming out of 2. The leaders have stretched away from the rest of the field.
So Hebing still keeping the law firm in sight right now, not gaining too much, but not losing much either. Still a long way to go in this one. 13 laps in of a 35-lap race.
And the traffic is getting heavy as we are under yellow.
Debris, reports of debris in, I missed which corner it was.
And I think that yellow was actually a break for Parker Price Miller because he was getting into some crazy traffic.
Well, that's just the thing, Adam. The farther along Parker Price Miller gets up into the lap traffic, the stronger the cars are. And I know that makes sense, but this is a stout field, so it gets tougher and tougher to get those cars a lap down and makes it difficult for the leader.
Well, guys, up here in turn number 2 on the right on the entrance of the back straightaway, you can see Matt, our push truck guy, pulling it over. It is a front nose crash bar off one of these cars, and there it's off the Poirier 28 as he drove by me. The Poirier car with no front bumper down in front. Now it's just a single bar bumper out front, but Poirier missing it on the 28s. So obvious contact.
And that's a significant piece of debris. I mean, that would do some damage if people got into that. So,
well, I just want to talk to you, Adam, how it works. The officials come on, they say debris, they ask where it is, they take a look, is it in the groove, is it good, can we keep going? They determine no, they could not. And as you mentioned, a solid debris caution there. No funny business.
Here's one for you, Adam. Terry Whitehall watching at home says, I just went outside to rub some dirt in my hair. Getting into it, watching it live at home.
Fantastic. You know, the track was dry from time trials. And the dust really hasn't been terrible. Like, there's been dust in the air, but visibility's been fine. This is a wide, racy racetrack. Watching the line Parker Price Miller is running, Chuck Hebing's been working the bottom of the racetrack, trying to perfect that line. Is Parker Price Miller's high groove going to disappear by the end of this race?
Well, you have to wonder if that is going to be the case, and usually that bottom line stays pretty consistent in this long 35-lap race. So, yeah, good point on that. With Parker Price Miller committed to that outside line.
Dylan Westbrook, he's made some gains. He's up there in the 7th spot in the Ohsweken Speedway, number 47.
Started 15th, so this caution, one of those types of cautions that helps a driver like him as well that's moving forward through the field.
Well, you got to believe when this green flag flies, he's going to sail that thing down into turn 1 on the outside. I mean, he's been pitching the car really hard into the corner sideways and then driving it off. It's been impressive to watch.
You guys notice who's in 4th? Sam Haferteep from row 5, already up in the top 5.
Right there behind Max Stambaugh and ahead of Davey Franek. And he got by Franek after Franek got high in corner number 4 and over the berm. Lost that real estate to Haferteep Jr. Ready to get back at it. Just 13 laps on the board. 22 to go in the 14th annual Aero Express Canadian Sprint Car National, supercharged by Nitro 54 Variety.
Chuck Hebing straight to the bottom of the racetrack trying to make a move. He'll lose some ground down the back straightaway. Parker Price Miller back to the outside and both ends of the racetrack.
Hebing previously ran the fastest lap of this race so far, the only driver under 14 seconds, but he's losing ground now to Parker Price Miller.
Here comes Dylan Westbrook. He's making a charge to get himself into the top 5 as he works behind Davey Franek and now sets his sights on Sam Haferteep Jr.
That 47 car just about twisted itself into a pretzel. Did you see him straighten it up out of turn 4 and the thing just pitched itself? Dylan Westbrook is on the charge.
He's making big gains on Haferteep now as both of them race within the top 5, 4th and 5th right now. as Hebing has started to eat back into that lead that Parker Price Miller built up.
Miller leads across the line, completing lap number 17. The Cobra, Chuck Hebing in second. Then it's Max Stambaugh, Sam Haferteep, and Dylan Westbrook, your top 5.
The track, you can see, is starting to change. The speed of these race cars going into the turns, things are starting to change up. Who's going to have the best long-term car? Long-run car, rather.
Hebing has tried a lot of different lines out of corner 4, and that one out of corner 2 didn't work quite as well. He was really gaining on Parker Price Miller, and again gains off corner 4 as Parker Price Miller back into traffic again.
But I like that Chuck Hebing is moving around the racetrack. He's tried his car in a number of different spots on the track, so he's building that database in his mind of where the car is going to work for him.
And he is not losing a lot of ground, although as I say that, he's got a couple of lap cars between he and Parker Price Miller. He'll slide up in front of Jared Horseman and work down the backstretch with Miller already in corner 3.
Great battle for the third spot rather, just ahead of Dylan Westbrook. Or is that a lap car that Haferteep just got?
That is Max Stambaugh right there. The lap car is Jared Horseman up just behind Chuck Hebing.
Hebing got off of the end of corner 4 just a little bit, or sorry, corner 3 a couple laps ago and got back on the track without losing too much ground, but Parker Price Miller is ahead by almost 2 seconds at the moment.
22 laps in, so next time by it'll be 12 laps to go. That's still a lot of racing here at the Big O, and traffic is going to be an issue for the rest of this race.
Parker Price Miller out in front, and the Cobra Chuck Hebing and Sam Haferteep and Dylan Westbrook running similar lines, similar lap times. They are third and fourth. Mark Smith now has worked his way into the top 5.
Mark Smith, who started ahead of Dylan Westbrook. Oh, Westbrook's got a problem up in turn 4.
Right rear flat on the 47X. The caution will fly. Oh, heads up there in corner 4.
Heartbreak for Dylan Westbrook, who had come through the field past some very good race cars.
Right rear down on the 47X. I do believe, yep, there you can see it on the live stream feed. Right there. Running in the 4th spot behind Sam Haferteep Jr.
So they're trying to determine whether Westbrook's going to get a push back to the pits or whether they're going to lift that up from the back end. Clinton Jeffrey is making his way over there in turn 4.
Well, getting reports of something broken on the rear end, needing a hook here, so we'll find out if it's something they feel they can fix in 2 minutes. We'll try and get a look at it.
Report from Dale Calnan, our photographer, is that Westbrook hit the wall out of corner 2, so that's likely what did the damage on the 47X.
Well, they're going to need a new right rear, a new shock, as they busted the shock here off the right rear. The Heim's gone off of it, so the crew, it looks like Steve Moulton and the crew should be able to get this done within the 2-minute time period.
See if you can get a word with Dylan, Clint. They're going to haul him away pretty quickly once that car's in the air.
D-Dub, what happened here?
I can't hear. They're talking.
Doug's talking on the radio right now. What happened there, Dylan?
Just after that red, it's almost like the tire just started going down a little bit there, but oh well, had a real good run going, but kind of nothing else you can do about it.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. 9 wins on the season. Our 2018 hometown champ, Dylan Westbrook, suffers some damage here, flat right rear, and that's caused them to tear up the shock on the car as well, guys. But looks like he's got, did he hit the wall after he had the flat? Because the rim is bent up really bad.
Well, there's some speculation. Dale Callan saying he hit the wall in turn 2, and he really didn't have serious issues till he got down into 3 and 4. And by the tone Dylan Westbrook said, it doesn't seem like he expects to get back out on the racetrack. Did you gather that, Greg?
It's kind of how it sounded for Dylan Westbrook, but that's Dylan. Dylan's just kind of always Dylan, if that makes any sense. He's kind of one tone, low key, super easy going, and he said, "Hey, I had a great race going, but what are you going to do?"
And on the move.
Smith up now into that 4th position, and he's starting to make his presence known with 11 laps left to go. We got a car. Jeff Cook on the outside of corner number 3 is not going to fire. And I believe we're going to have to go to the yellow flag. And yes, we will. Sounds like there was contact between Jeff Cook and maybe Chris Steele.
The front wing on Cook's car is all mangled there. Let's go to look at Steele's car and see if there's any damage on him.
There's discussion about the nose wing for the Jeff Cook number 10. We'll go to the work area with the damaged front nose on the car. Not sure what else is wrong with the car, guys. You'll have to get a good look as he comes by, but the front nose wing definitely askew on the 10.
Yeah, it's just hanging in there. Well, that'll have to be pulled off, replaced. Jeff Cook will head it back to the work area. 24 laps complete, 11 laps remain. And it's been tough to make up positions. I mean, there's a lot of racing room out there, but trying to get the forward drive as we look up through this field from front to back, Greg. Who do you notice that's, well, I guess Mark Smith would have to be the driver that's made the most gains.
Another one is Jordan Thomas, who started back there in the 20th spot. Look at him, he's in 6th position. Someone that we maybe wrote off a little bit earlier on in the night because he had a rough start to the evening, but now he's in the thick of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that.
Just remember, he started in the same spot that Brian Howland started in 2015. So.
Yep. And Parker Price Miller continues to pound that same groove. I'm not saying he can't go elsewhere on the track. We really don't know that, but he's really been focused on running that one groove, and it's worked for him to this point. But if he does get into a battle, can he move around the racetrack and make it work?
We'll find out here shortly. Funny how we keep going back to 2015. What a great finish that was. 3 of those drivers still in the field here tonight with Parker Price Miller. Mark Smith was kind of a late addition to that last couple of laps. He joined into the party, and Steve Poirier, the only one missing. Brian Howland, who I'm sure is watching at home, and we'd love to have you out here, Brian Howland. Always fun driver to watch.
Jeff Cook gets back out from the pits with no nose wing on the 10 car. Wow, Dylan Westbrook.
Well, he didn't lose a lap.
Well, the situation was they looked at it, figured it was something they couldn't fix in 2 minutes. Then the yellow came right back out, gave him the opportunity to go to work on it, and they got it back out.
That's fortuitous for D-Dub's Dylan Westbrook. Got a lot of work to do, though. Green flag is back out. Parker Price Miller shoots down the front stretch and into corner number 1.
Jeff Cook in that 10 car. That car did not launch there coming out of turn 4. He's got his hands full.
Parker Price Miller leads with 10 to go. Hebing is there again, trying to go to the inside, can't make it work that time. And look at Haferteeth now, up to 3rd with Smith right next to him.
Yeah, you got the Friday night winners duking it out for 3rd and 4th right now. Haferteeth on the outside, and a car down the backstretch. Kyle Drum nearly got clobbered. He'll turn it down to the inside of corner number 3, and the caution flag flies again.
Alex Hill and the 23 machine just snuck by.
This is uncharacteristic Nationals.
Yeah. I was just about to say that because this race normally not as plagued as we've seen here tonight, and it's been since the drop of the green flag. Does fuel become an issue, Tommy? or Adam? None of us being crew members, but
Hashtag closed.
55 minutes, 79, 17.
Well, I was just wondering the same thing as Dylan Westbrook heads back to the pits in the 47 machine. And I don't know, there's got to be a protocol for it, and if there's protocol, then Tommy Gooch has to know about it. Tommy Gooch knows about everything. Have they given a number of green and yellow laps combined on where they would go red and refuel?
I haven't heard what that number is. I think we're getting pretty close.
We're gonna walk down. I'm getting some nods.
Keep the 97, stop asking. Send him right that way and we can come back. 8 times he's asked and said no. Leave him.
I'm gonna pop in as these race directors are race directing.
Put him in the infield. Put him in the infield and we'll come for one to go.
Try to get Doug Leonard real quick. How close are we getting to a refueling point?
We'll be in a couple more. If we get one more caution, we'll be there.
Doug says one more caution. We may be there and having to throw a red, refuel these race cars.
Well, guys, Kyle Drum's torsion rack at the front of the frame is bent back a few degrees. Gonna bind it up on him. He says he's done. He will not take his time in the work area. They'll tow him to the infield so we can keep on rolling.
back to the green flag. Parker Price Miller, Chuck Hebing, Sam Haferteep, Mark Smith, and Jordan Thomas from back in 20th. That's your top 5 with now just 9 laps left to settle it for 10 grand US dollars. Green flag in the air.
Chuck Ebing's right rear wheel has got white all over it. I wonder if he maybe clipped the wall at some point, but he's not letting that show as he goes after Parker Price Miller again for the lead.
Man, he sailed the car in hard and he was able to get some bite. Chuck Hebing is learning lap after lap what that car is capable of. Sam Haferteep in third, not really able to keep pace right now with the top 2.
Great battle going on at the front. Parker Price Miller leads, but here comes the Cobra. Chuck Hebing, oh, he hits the wall at corner number 1 for the left rear. The car will go around in front of the field. He does a 360, and it looks like he'll be able to stay going. And yes, we are going green, but will Hebing be able to pull it into the infield?
Wow. What a turn of events. Chuck Hebing was putting on a show, and he is out of this one. And what a lead with 5 laps to go. Parker Price Miller with a significant lead over Sam Haferteep.
We talked about how that outside line can bite you when you're digging so hard. Well, that concrete wall can do the same, and it's done it for the Cobra and Chuck Hebing with Parker Price Miller out in front over Sam Haferteep Jr. and Mark Smith.
Jordan Thomas just jumped up to the 4th position, but he is just about out of laps. We got one more peeling off on the back stretch.
That, I believe, is Max Stambaugh that went on. Max Demand will rejoin the field after an off-road excursion.
Battle for second now, Smith and Haferteep. Smith tries to take that spot away. Parker Price Miller back into traffic now, but it might be too late for the rest of the field to catch him.
Anything can happen here in the closing laps. 2 laps to go.
The law firm, Parker Price Miller out in front, working through lap traffic. A great battle for that second spot going on right now with Mark Smith and Sam Haferteep. The winners on Friday night started back in row number 5, but they've got their eyes set on Parker Price Miller, and the red flag is out.
Car on its side in corner 2.
Jordan Thomas on his side.
Oh no.
Trucks, come and grab all these guys and take them to turn 3. I'll grab all these guys and roll them to turn 3.
So push trucks being called to grab all the drivers, all these cars, and push them up to corner number 3. As it looks like we are going to need a refueling with 2 laps left to go.
I think Jordan Thomas might be able to go.
Yeah, I didn't see the rollover, but not much damage on that car. He's an easy over possibly, and he could be continuing on here.
So refueling break here. Yeah, great bunch of supporters here. We've got a gaggle of people heading down to the infield. Strange things happen at midnight.
It's not even a full moon. Kind of thought it might have been, but can't really see it right now. Some people on our YouTube channel are discussing whether they think Parker Price Miller's left rear looks a little bit low.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't notice that, but yeah, looking right now on the shot that we have, Parker Price Miller's left rear looking maybe soft. So the yellow flag back out, cars pushed under power here. I don't know, can we get a shot from one of our cameramen on that left rear of the 67X? Parker Price Miller.
Now they do run bleeders on those tires so that they don't build up too much air pressure. So sometimes during a caution or a red flag, they will lose a little bit of air, and then when they get back going again and build up some heat.
Yeah.
Now that looks pretty healthy as we get a good close-up shot from Dave Stiers. Thank you, Dave.
Got a lot of good people that help make this happen for us here in the tower, with Dave Stiers up on the roof, and we got Greg Boydell over in corner number 2. Of course, Clinton Jeffrey getting all the news and info for us down trackside. Got Brittany Jacari up here in the tower giving us our lineups, making it easy for us. And Doug Leonard also here in the tower, our race director, each and every Friday night. DJ Darren here playing the tunes. Sherry Huffman always on top of it with her pen doing the scoring. Great bunch that we get to work with every broadcast. We get the easy part, we just have to talk.
Yeah, it's not that challenging. Well, challenging, but not that difficult. If it was rocket science, I'd be out.
If we can eat Burger Barn and do our jobs, it's not that difficult. White flag is out. That's what we've all wanted to see. And Parker Price Miller is 2 laps away from winning his 2nd Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. The first coming back in 2016.
56, 80, 87, 17. 80 up. Lights are up, Trevor. Lights are up. Green lights are up.
So it'll be Parker Price Miller, Sam Haferteep Jr., Mark Smith, Steve Poirier, Davey Franick, the top 5. Oh, Mitch Brown, I believe he may be up there in the thick of things as well.
Green flag flies. Parker Price Miller to the top, Sam Haferteep to the bottom.
That's not going to work. Parker Price Miller stretches the advantage on Sam Haferteep, and here comes the fireball out of nowhere to second.
Steve Poirier on the last lap, battling to the inside of Haferteep for second. That allows Parker Price Miller to get away.
Final time through corner number 3. Court is in session, and the law firm is ready to do business. Parker Price Miller wins his 2nd career Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. The fireball, Steve Poirier, comes home in 2nd over Mark Smith. So Parker Price Miller becomes a 2-time winner of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Poirier 2nd, Mark Smith 3rd, Sam Haferteep Jr. comes home in 4th, Davey Franick 5th, 6th, Scott Kruder 7th, Jordan Poirier. Great run for Mitch Brown up to 8th, Chris Steele 9th, and Jason Barney finds himself inside the top 10. Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky, the official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway over on Highway 54 in Middleport. Check them out online on Facebook for all your fireworks celebration needs. Lone Wolf Fireworks, the official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway. We see Poirier, we see Smith just waiting for the winner. Parker Price Miller doing the donuts. In corner number 3, we'll get him a push. And down to Lucas Oil Products. Victory lane for the 2nd time in his career. The first time in 2016. for the law firm Parker Price Miller.
They're going to probably weigh him first.
Make sure he's got to go to the scales.
He's going to go to the scales first.
He'll get the push down to the pad and get ready to celebrate. The Hills Racing team.
Those ones are big. Sorry, you said you still have to go to the scales?
Yeah. Parker Price Miller's still needing to get to the scales before we can send it down to Lucas Oil Products Victory Lane and talk with Parker Price Miller.
Grab the 67X.
Here comes all the push trucks at once now.
Get him off, Dustin, get him off. Take him. Dustin, off the horn. Get the guy off. Take him to the scale. Tell him to get out.
Oh, man.
Parker Price Miller making his way now to the pit area. He'll cross the scales. If everything is A-OK, he will make his way down to Lucas Oil Products Victory Lane. The Hills Racing team congregating down there. Steve Poirier. Pretty quiet weekend for Steve Poirier, but at the end he found the horsepower and got himself up to second. Mark Smith crossing the line in third.
Put down a name on the check.
Yeah. Waiting for it to be official. Just trying to figure out who the hard charger is, and I think it may be Chris Steele, who unofficially started 30th and finished 9th. But we will confirm that one.
Where did Mitch Brown start?
26th, so that is not going to be the case. So I believe Chris Steele should be the hard charger award winner.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here he comes. He's cleared the scales. We'll get ready for Adam Ross to interview our top three down here. Parker Price Miller on his way to Lucas Oil Victory Lane in the 14th Annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Use this one better. We don't want to talk there this time, right? Go drink beer. I had enough.
Race fans, this is not his first rodeo. Parker Price Miller celebrates atop the Town Line Variety number 67.
Good job, Tommy. It was a fail for you. Yeah, that's it.
Parker Price Miller getting some congratulations from the crew.
I don't know who gets that.
Man, oh man, congratulations. Talk about that run.
Oh, man, I think I had a heart attack those last 5 laps. Man, I didn't want to see that yellow come out. You can watch the scoreboard, and I don't like doing it, but I noticed the 67 would come up on the board, and no other numbers would come up on the board and as I passed it. So I knew I had a big lead, and that yellow came out, and I was like, it's just not meant to be. I haven't won a race yet this year, and man, what a time for it to be here at Ohsweken for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals.
Could you see much of Chuck Hebing in the 45? He was really working the bottom groove where you were fairly committed to the top side, and that's what ultimately put him out. He got into the inside wall there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's been strong all weekend, and he got a good start. And we were just a little too tight at the beginning, but I knew we were going to be good later. And man, my car just came on so strong. I can't thank Miles Hill, Pam, Alex, Trevor, Cam, Kent, everyone that makes this happen, and everyone, I can't thank you enough.
We're going to let you celebrate and get some pictures taken here. One more question, but that red flag with 2 laps to go, what goes through your mind when you're sitting there for that long?
You're just thinking about every part that can come into play. You got to make sure you get a good restart. My motor wasn't taking off good, so I just made sure I kept my RPMs high and got a good start. I felt like I got a bad start, and I kind of cheated it going into 1 to make sure Sam couldn't slide me. But I had a few words over on the back straightaway. Some lap cars want to race you, but they're laughing about it. That's just not how I race, and I don't appreciate it.
There you have it, Parker Price Miller. They're going to get to celebrating here, get some victory lane photos done. Steve Poirier, driver of the number 28. Man, nice drive. It seemed like you almost came out of nowhere and the car came on like gangbusters at the end.
Yeah, it was good short run, and on long run, the line I was running, I had the car running inside were crossing in front of me, so I was struggling a little bit about that, and my tires on long run seems the car and tire were not working, but on short run with all those restarts at the end, they really played in our favor.
How happy are you with a second place run? I know you're here to win, you always want to win, but that's got to feel good. You drove hard for that.
Yeah, that was a hard-fought battle starting from 12 and after last year, so that's a good rebound for us. I'm really happy. Congratulations to Parker Price, a really nice and gentleman driver, so I'm really happy with my weekend.
There you have it. Steve Poirier coming home in second place, race fans. Mark Smith having a look at the right rear tire here. Before the race, we talked about how you were guaranteed to start 9th or 10th, but you weren't looking for that. You wanted to be closer to the front. You had your work cut out for you, but you had a good drive. Can you be satisfied with this?
No, you're never satisfied with running third, but we had a slow start there at the beginning. We actually fell back, I don't know, maybe 11th or 12th, and once the car got going, we got really good there and started coming up through, and then kept having those restarts, and some of them helped me, but the last 2 laps I needed a little bit longer run to keep it going, because I was better after about 3 or 4 laps, and then I could really hit my lines real nice, and I'd get a little too tight when it was a short run, but all in all, it was pretty good. We didn't have anything fall off or break this time or get run over, so I call that a plus.
There you have it. Mark Smith comes home third tonight. Race fans, your top 3. Parker Price Miller, the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals champion. Second place to Steve Poirier. Rounding out the top 3, it's Mark Smith from Victory Lane. I'm Adam Ross, and that'll do it from down here. Back to you, Greg and Tommy.
Thank you very much, Adam, and thank you, Clinton Jeffrey, down there all night long, working down in the pits and down in Victory Lane as well. And congratulations to the top 3 celebrating down there in Lucas Oil Products Victory Lane. So that will conclude our night of racing here. Thank you for being a part of the 14th Annual Aero Express Canadian Sprint Car National, supercharged by Nitro 54 variety. And thank you to the fans that were here tonight. Fantastic crowd. Thanks to all tuning in online and being a part of this fantastic event. We can't wait for the 15th annual edition of this race. That concludes our racing season as well for 2018. It's been a long road, but a fun road, and it has come to an end. Make sure you stay tuned on OhswekenSpeedway.com for all the news during the off season about the 2019 season. So on behalf of the Stiers family, all of our crew, all of our officials and staff that worked so hard to bring these race nights each and every Friday night and our special event here tonight. And on behalf of my co-announcers, Tommy Gooch, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, my name's Greg Kellman saying so long. We'll see you back here at the Big O in 2019.